All right. Welcome once again to another episode of Sports Therapy March Madness Style. I am your host, F.H. Jr., and this is the last game. So, this will be our last recap of the NCAA March Madness Championship. A little bit about the show. This is where callers will have 2 minutes to call in, rip, rant, kick some knowledge, laugh, gloat, throw a punch, cry, or collect money if you are the winners of your office pool. The number to call if you want to be a live guest, 940-329-4110. That's 940-329-4110. And once again, our sponsor is always Tips Treats, where you just cannot get a bad cookie. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Well, 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 well. Well, well, well. And well, well. We have reached the end of the line. Over 64 teams started on this trail, or should I say started on this journey. And we only have one, as they say in the Lord of the Rings. There can only be one. And that one is your Connecticut Huskies. Yeah, the Connecticut Huskies. They took on a very valid and well-played, well-disciplined team, the San Diego State. It was wild. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not disappointed. First of all, I would like to congratulate. I would like to congratulate my man David Wilson. I don't know if David's out there and listening, but yes, folks, the winner of our bracket, March Madness bracket, will be Mr. David Wilson. And David, you'll get the chance to hold the belt. You'll be a champion for 1 year. 1 year. And the only stipulations is you get to keep the belt for 1 year unless you get fired, leave the country, or pass away. At that time, belt goes back to the commissioner, and we will reset this bad boy again next year. But David is our winner, and he's also the winner of our office pool. Now, if there was money on the line, and you know we don't gamble, then David would have won. If there was money on the line, now, then David would have won our pool pot. That's if there was money on the line. You know what? Tonight's recap, we're gonna go as long as we can go and as long as we're feeling it. Normally, my homeboy Glenn calls in. We don't know if that's gonna happen because of all the tragedies and all the tornadoes and all the good, I wouldn't say good stuff, but all the tragedy that we had in the great state of Arkansas this weekend. So my homeboy might call, and if he does, we'll rock on. If not, you know what? The show's going to go on. We're going to keep him and all the good people from the great state of Arkansas in our prayers. A little bit about the game. It was pretty much like I, myself and others expected it to go. Should I say, San Diego State fought a good fight. They came in as a fifth seed. I'm sure nobody gave them a chance, but they had a puncher's chance. And truth be told, I think if they had a little bit more offense, there was a good possibility that they probably could have won this game. But when I think of the UConn Huskies, man, I'm talking about, they were a well-oiled machine, especially the young kid. I think his name Hunter. Man, he has a great shot. Man, it reminds me a little bit of Rip Hamilton, as when I look at how he applies his craft. Comes off screens and ready to shoot that thing, man. And it's like every time when State would try to mount a challenge, UConn would just beat them back, man. Beat them back. They would beat them back. Also, before I go any further, man, I also want to congratulate the like to congratulate. I'm sorry. Would like to congratulate the lady Bayou Bengals of LSU. They took on. They won the championship, or the women's NCAA championship. Now, if I sound a little, my voice sound a little different, I'm fighting a cold, but it is what it is. But like I said, I want to congratulate the women. It was a good game, played all around. In fact, it's rare that I clear my whole schedule so I can watch some women basketball, and I did because and it was must see TV, and I wasn't disappointed. Um, Angel Reese and the girls, they managed to hold down Big Gun, Big Gun Kate, and it was all good, man. You had a little controversy at the end. A lot of people going back and forth as to sportsmanship by the ladies and taunting and all that. Everybody doing the John Cena, the old "you can't see me" and all that good stuff. Here's my take, man. And I play basketball, not on that level. I played high school and things of that nature. Did a little coaching, but I tell people like, look, man. At the end of the day, man, it's turning is part of the game, man. That's part of the hit game. That's part of that's laying it out on the line, man. People stop taking it too serious. It's sports. It's sports. Yeah. Yeah, everybody taunt, man. I'll be honest. If I can play hit games on you, I will. The way I see it, man. If and I know the game is played different nowadays. Kids have a relationship with folks on the other team, whereas when I coming up, we didn't. If you had on that suit, you were enemy. But things have changed. But man, it's just time. Now let's don't bring race into it, man. It's just two teams. It is what it is, man. But at the end of the day, man, it was all good fun, man. Good entertainment, and they entertained us. That's what they're here to do. Entertain me. All right. Now getting back to the guys. Um, the game started out as everybody thought, but most people thought it was gonna be a blowout. Even I'll be honest, I thought it was gonna be a blowout. And but going into the game, I was in first place in my office pool, man. In fact, I had I had I didn't have UConn to win it all, but I had them in the championship game. And truth be told, man, I had Alabama picked to win it all, but they let me down. But because I had UConn in the actual championship game, I was able to pick up some points, and I was in first place. And I was going against my man, my man Wilson. Only problem was Wilson had him, had UConn picked to win. So the only way I could have won the pool and won the belt was for UConn to lose, man, and they didn't. I wouldn't say they didn't disappoint. They didn't disappoint Wilson. Hell, they disappointed me. But at the end of the day, man, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, it is cool. It was all in the entertainment, all good fun and all that. But anyway, getting back to the game. Um, the bottom line from my perspective was that San Diego State just couldn't make. They didn't have enough outside shooting because that's not their game. They're a veteran team, and their game is hard nosed defense, taking the ball inside, playing physical on you, wearing you down. They may get down by 5 or 10 points in the first half and really reeling you back in, wearing you down, and playing San Diego State type football. I mean basketball. I'm sorry, I got my sports a little bit mixed up. But that was their game plan. But the only problem was that they were going against a team in UConn that they just didn't have any weaknesses, man. They were like solid all the way around. They had shooters. They had big men. They had big men they had bigger men that could come in for a big men. They had ball movement. They had defense. They had cheerleaders. They had hot dogs being sold. They had beer being sold. They had fans. They had fan fanatics. They had everything. They had hell, they even had tradition. They had everything, man. They did. UConn had it all. And it all showed up tonight. Um, but I will tell you this. Um, San Diego State, they did not fold. They did not fold. They were down one time almost 20 points, and they rallied, started to rally, and I was like, oh, hell, here we go. I know my man Wilson was out there feeling a little tight when less than 8 minutes in the game and they had trimmed it to 5. I was like, woo, woo, woo. But the cream rose to the top. Now, if you are out there and you are listening and you want to know what the hell am I listening to, this is Sports Therapy FH Junior with FH Junior March Madness version. And the number to call if you want to be a live guest, it's 940-329-4110. You call and I will let you get on air and you can talk about the season. Also, I want to do a recap on my prospect on March Madness. Someone said, you know what? They ought to just up this thing to like 100 teams. No. I know a lot of the younger generation always want to change some of the things that the older generation have built. I know you guys are probably getting tired of the same old, and you start to ask, well, why do we have to have 64 teams? Why can't we make it 100 and whatever? You know what? Some things are just better left alone. To me, we don't need to change it. We don't need to trick it up. Yeah, okay, I like the little play-in games, but at the end of the day, um, I'm for keeping it the way it is. I like what I saw. We had some man. This was for me the best March Madness tournament that I have seen in my days. Because we didn't have a lot of blue blood teams in there. The traditional Duke, Kansas, Kentucky. We didn't have those teams in there. We didn't. We just didn't have the. When I say that, I'm talking about Final Four. This was a season of, I would say, change, but this was a season where anybody could step up and be champions. You had some ninth seeds tried to lay seeds to the kingdom. You had some 5 seeds, 4 seeds. A lot of the 1 seeds got knocked out in the first or second round. We had bracket busters all over the place. We had disappointment. We had jubilation. We even had revelation. Hell, we had it all. We had meat and gravy and some potatoes. But what I really liked about this year, this season, this tournament was the fact that there was no clear cut team that you can say, hey, this is going to be the team that we're going to crown the champion. Because truth be told, UConn came out of nowhere. When I say came out of nowhere, they wasn't going into this thing. I can guarantee you, other than my man Wilson, I don't even know anybody who had UConn favored to win it all. And I don't know how he did it because me, myself, and a lot of members of my pool, I think we just did auto schedule. I know I did, man. I did auto schedule. I just like, you know what? I don't know. Going into it, I was like, you know what? Out of 64 teams, hell, 62 of them go in the championship. So I was like, man, I don't know what the hell. So I did auto schedule, except for at the last minute. I was listening to, I don't know whether it was Clark Kellogg. It definitely wasn't Charles Barkley, but I think it might have been Clark Kellogg. Um, and I think he follows more East Coast, Big East type basketball. And then me myself, I mostly follow SEC, Big 12, a little bit West Coast, Pac-10, all that good stuff. So just listening to Clark, and he was talking to Coach Jay Wright, and he may have been getting his information from Jay Wright, but Jay was like, you know what, you better keep an eye on the UConn Huskies because they are a team that could win this thing. They had everything, and so at the last minute, I was like, you know what, let me make just a few changes to my bracket. So I adjusted my bracket right before it went live, and I moved them in the championship game against Alabama. But I still had that. I was still picking Alabama to win it all, but I was also going with UConn to get to the championship game, and that's kind of how it went. Except for Alabama, crapped in the bed. They got put out. But it was all good, man. But getting back to the nice game, um, I was disappointed. Well, I wasn't disappointed, but my man Bradley for San Diego State, I thought he was going to show up and beat a man. They just could not buy a basket at all. Hell, they went about 6 to 7 minutes without scoring a basket, except for a couple of free throws. I'm thinking, man, you guys have picked the wrong night to go cold. Well, that's what was happening, man. But as bad as they were playing the first half, they went into halftime only down 10 points. So I was like, okay, you guys are playing like crap. But I could still see UConn starting to turn loose the dogs, man. They were starting to turn the dogs loose right before halftime. So I'm thinking, okay, either it's going to be a continuation of the same old, and they're going to blow them out at halftime, after half, probably with about, I don't know, 10 minutes left in the game, and I figured they'd be up by 20 points and celebrating and all that. Or State was going to get back in this thing. And what happened? States, these guys decided, you know what? We're not going out like this. We got the national spotlight on us, and we are going to fight. And basically, they had this theory that, you know what? Let's win portions of the game. And that's what they did. Their goal was to be, I believe, under 10 with 8 minutes left. And that's what happened. They found themselves, they fought back, and they were under 10 points. But the bottom line is that, man, they had no stop for big, what's his name, Sonago, man. That guy is a beast, man. He is a wildebeest. you couldn't bag him down. I was tickled by the big man for State just trying to bag him down, and Sonago, he wasn't moving, man. He wasn't having it. So, and on top of that, he was scoring. Big man can run the floor. Now I don't know how his game, if he decides to go pro, and that's just me speculating. I don't know how his game would transition over to the next level, because he would be pretty much an undersized big man, kind of similar to Oscar Sheedway. They're big guys that can run the floor, but then again, the NBA is not the traditional NBA that I grew up with. It's not your father's NBA, where if you're a big man, the game's centered around. So now, you get a big man that can come out and play the pick and roll, and hell, there's a spot for you. So they could make it in the NBA. At the most, I think they may could be good backup centers or good backup power forwards or whatever. Even if I don't think they have true power forwards anymore, so it's all good. But getting back to the college, just the whole college thing, man. It was a good game. The season was. I wouldn't say the season was long, but the thing about it is that the championship game always, like we said, it's always that crowning jewel at the end that says, you know what, let's put a cap on this bad boy. We look at all the teams that was involved in the tournament. We talk about my beloved Razorbacks, all the teams from the SEC, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi State, and then like I said, I'm gonna follow SEC football, basketball. Then you had UCLA, and I mean it was just a lot. Kansas. It was, man. I just love college. This is the time of the year where I just love college basketball, and I got to playing with this idea that, you know what, why don't you just do something similar to what you do with sports therapy, FH Junior, and football? Let's do something with the NCAA tournament. And so that's why I came up with this concept. Let me just and I played with it a couple of nights, just trying to figure out how do I present this, what I want to present. How do I showcase? Because unlike football, where the games are played mostly on the weekends, and then we were dialed into Sunday nights, 7:05, right in the middle of the Sunday night game, and we would come in. But this thing was kind of different. I was like, okay, I would love to do a recap. In other words, I'm gonna come on right after the last game, and sometimes that was around 11, 11:30, 11:15, and I know for a lot of my listeners was like, okay, whoo, game's over, I gotta go to work. But I know that one person in particular, man, he was riding shotgun with me the whole way, and that was my homeboy Glenn, man, and I like to definitely thank him for being my co-pilot throughout this ride, man, because he loves sports, man. And one of the things I like about my homeboy Glenn, I tell people, man, we go way back, man, way back, man. He's one of my dearest friends, man. I love him like a brother. But I used to find it uncanny that he had as I was growing up, I was like, man, he just have a lot of empty knowledge, man, for sports. He would have stats and all this. I mean, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, that guy, man. So when I came up with these concepts, I'm like, okay, there's one guy I know that he's gonna always be able to talk sports, man, because he loves sports, man, and so it's all good, man. Especially when you could have someone that you got a natural rapport made and with and stuff like that, and so that's what makes it so cool. But as I was saying, man, this has been a long ride. It's been a joyful ride, and at the end of the day, there can only be one champion, man. There can only be one champion, and that is the Connecticut Huskies, man. Job well done, man. Job well done from the coaching, the whole staff, CBS Sports, and all the other channels. That because at the beginning when this bad boy kicked off, man, we were able to watch games on all at least four different platforms. So that was all good, man. So I can't complain. If anybody not trust me, there are a lot of people out there that are disappointed, but I don't know who did or didn't tune in for this last game, man. You regardless of what your how your bracket is looking right about now, at the end of the day, man, we all want to watch that last game and see if they gonna play that music by Luther. One shining moment, man. That's what it come down to, man. You know. But it's been I wouldn't say a wild ride, but it's been a good ride, man. It has been a truly, truly, truly good ride, man. Um, Getting back a little bit about the game itself, um, State they fought a good fight. They trimmed it down to I think they got this bad boy down. The closest they got was like five, and it was like 6 minutes left. And then UConn went on a run. They ripped off maybe about 6 points to stretch this thing back to 10. Then they went up maybe like 13. And it was just back and forth. State would get it under 10, get it back to like 7 or 8. UConn would kick it back up to 10, 11. And then finally, with about 2 minutes left, they got to like 13 points. And for all purposes, it was over there, man. It was like, okay. And it started into like a free throw shooting contest because by that time, oh man, they went in double bonus. So every time State would have to commit a foul to kind of stop the clock or whatever, um, UConn went to the free throw line and they hit their free throws, and big ups to them, man, because a lot of time that's how you close the team out. You close the team out by going to the free throw line and hitting your free throws. Hell, I remember my old high school coach used to say, "Hell, I don't know why nobody can't shoot free throws. Hell, they free." Nobody guarding you, but it's easier said than done, man. When that pressure's on you and you look around and then your body seizes up and all that, it's like, oh hell, you know. But man, what can I say? What can I say? It was a good ride, folks. It was definitely a good ride. And like I said, man, the goal of the show was to recap all the games And tonight, we did a recap of the championship. We talked about UConn's victory. We talked about expectations going into this bad boy. Some of us, probably 90% of the entire country, had picked UConn to win. So I think a lot of people just hung around to see how bad they would beat San Diego State. But you know what? San Diego State, they was very they came into this bad boy with the intention that, you know what, we're not here just to cash a check. We're here. We're not happy just to get to the championship game. They came to win a ring, and they fought a very valiant fight. But at the end of the day, they came out on the losing end. And once again, folks, there can only be one champion. So that's going to wrap it and cap it for this year. Look like we may continue to do this thing again, man. And we'll probably do it again next year because, you know, we're always trying to get better. Always looking at some ways to improve. And hopefully we'll get some feedback and just kind of let us know what we need to do to get better, man. But like I say, man, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the ride. I've enjoyed the games. I have enjoyed just coming on and giving a recap of the game. So for myself, my homeboy, and all the good fans out there, you're about to hear the sound of my music. Once again, folks, it is time to bring the big top to a stop. And I want to thank all my listeners, my homeboy Glenn, all the good folks in the great state of Arkansas, all the fans, the NCAA, and all those who watch March Madness, and all those whose brackets are busted, but your hope is still high. It's been a good year, and we will see you next year. And this is F.A. Jr. for Sports Therapy March Madness. We would like to say goodbye. And once again, from our sponsor, Tips Treats, you just can't get a bad cookie. We'll see you next year, folks. And thank you for listening. Also, subscribe to my channel. That is YouTube, Sports Therapy with F.A. Jr. And the show is streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. Goodbye, everybody.